Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, Feldy. I was talking for a little bit there, but I forgot that I actually have to press a button to enable my mic. How are you doing today? I'm doing alright. Oh, I'm so tired recently. So, don't mind me just starting to get set up. Well, it's like one thing to be tired, and it's another thing to like take a nap midday and then just kind of sit there for an additional 30 minutes. Which is why I'm so late. So I woke up at 7, then just kind of sat in bed for half an hour. And now here I am. Doing fine when we don't count the sleep schedule. Understandable. Understandable. R.I.P. circadian rhythm. It's alright, this is just... You're testing out a new polyphasic sleep cycle. You sleep in 1 hour increments, 6 hours a day. For six times a day. Totally fine. I understand. Hello, hello. Now we're back. I know how to do screen regions. Wow, imagine that. Sleep at 9 a.m., woken up at 7 p.m. Slept for a while. I slept for 10 hours. That's wild. I feel like going outside, touching grass, as the saying goes, really helps me like not want to take a nap. But on days where I just don't go outside, I'm like, man, I get really tired. So what we're going to be working on today is this thing here, because when I worked on this on Tuesday, which was 2 days ago, Tuesday, 2 days ago, I had to spend a lot of time working on the UI stuff and like just regular data transfer. But I think we're in a good spot to actually work on other features. Hooray! Well, by data transfer, it's just like this thing here. So hopefully this isn't broken. So this should be able to give me 6, something like that, so I can apply them like that. Yeah, okay, cool. And then skills, I guess we'll have to have a shop or something. Or maybe this can be like shop, click, 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 and it'll bring you to other pages, right? I don't know. I'm like simultaneously unwilling to actually play Hunterstory again, since I don't really want to have to download a new browser extension to play it. To play an old Flash game. On the other hand, thinking is hard. Anyways, let's implement the kind of draw strength indicator. That'll be fun. Said no one ever. So this is the UI. It looks really offset because I've just decided to put the UI layer on the same in the same screen hierarchy. So it looks jank, but it doesn't appear that way. So let's see. Skills, and then items. I guess this would be considered like a skill, wouldn't it? It's more or less a skill. So skills. It's like the implicit skill to shoot an arrow. So I can just drop this into here. So we'll have like draw strength. So let's see, Control A, pivot with an HBox container. And I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking. Yeah. I do like having everything just expand to fit the space, as opposed to things expanding to... it's more of like a fixed width option, as opposed to like the... how HTML kind of works with its stretching. So it stretches to fit. Not a huge fan of stretch to fit. So this is draw strength container. Wonder if how much influence does combat screen have over the UI layer? I can probably break it out into its own thing. Let's see. Damage numbers. Yeah, okay. So there is like no dependency between these two. Good to know. Get sense into your own node, so it's just slightly easier to keep track of things. So we'll go into screens, combat screen. This will now be just UI layer. Look at that. Hopefully that'd be okay. Yeah, so now it's just instanced in. Combat screen can just have a reference to it. How nice. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this anymore. It was kind of nice before when I was just kind of figuring stuff out, but now it just feels clunky to have the player path, and of course it's exported, so it's kind of visual. Well, it's simultaneously visual and also doesn't break when you move nodes around, but I think I've moved past that kind of deeply nested hierarchy stuff, right? I think it makes sense to have a deeply nested hierarchy when we're talking about UI elements, because UI elements kind of have to work around with each other, but in terms of, you know, actual game stuff, game entities, I've really come around to the idea of more of a flat scene structure. Yeah, so I think I might get rid of that. Might get rid of that. You know what? We're getting rid of that. Control-Shift-C. Damage numbers, damage numbers. So this is now just a direct reference. That's not how you do it. That is also not how you do it. Hold on. No. Excuse me? Isn't it to get the Control-Shift-C? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that is it. Yeah. That is it. Yeah. Okay. Spawn delay timer. We can probably just use the built-in stuff. Spawn delay timer. Spawn delay timer. Hold on. Still need to reconfigure my keyboard a little bit. No, that's control, that's not shift. Hold on. It's these hard, like, multi-button things, because everything's not on the same layer, and I'm just not used to pressing them on the appropriate layer. Like, on my other keyboard, which was, I think that's a 75%, but it's an ortholinear, and it has just more layers that are accessible to me. Well, it has more, I put more things on layers, so I have the basic controls available on the base layer. Whereas with this one, it exposes more stuff on the base layer, but things like arrow keys are not easily accessible anymore. Alright, so it's shift. There we go. He's learning. Spawn timer. I do really like typing on this though. What a shame. So enemy spawn. I believe this is, yeah, this is just called enemy spawn. Wow. Where'd you come up with that idea? Or with that name? This one is enemies. arrows. How nice. And then this one is player? Yeah, player. Get rid of all this. Not super necessary, except for the... One of these was an export var, right? Spawn rates. Spawn rates, and then max batch spawn. Which is that? Okay. We can get rid of this. It's just a bit too much code noise, if that makes sense. I keep flipping my my preferences on how I like my code to be structured. That's perhaps a good thing based off of experience from doing game jams and just, you know, growing as a programmer in general. Alright, so UI layer, we'll add a script to you. Look at that. How nice. And so, draw strength. I misspelled this as well, I can see. Strength. Oh, hello, needle mouse. Hello, hello, bruh. Bro. What's good? My man. Looking good. I thought today was tomorrow. In certain parts of the world, today is tomorrow. So, assuming that you live in the US, if you were to go to the Marshall Islands, I believe the Marshall Islands are actually on, it's actually tomorrow there already. Actually, not even, you don't even have to go that far, right? I think it just in like Japan, Hong Kong, China, it is already tomorrow. So you're not wrong. You're not right in some circumstances, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Alright, so meta stats. I think we should have a handle on some meta stats. On ready var meta stats. So that has a script attached to it. Oh, it was my time to pack up and go to school, so I changed into new clothing. What do you mean it's your time to pack up and go to school? Oh, did you take a nap and like it was, you woke up, it was already dark outside and you're like, alright, gotta go to school. I've been there before. I've been there many times before. Even in my professional life, I'll take a nap after work, you know, wake up, be like, oh, it's like 7:30, better like take a shower and get ready to go to work. So, oh wait, it's 7:30 p.m., not a.m. So this is label. This should be a label. So we'll go expand. This is value. Yeah. So don't feel weird about it. It happens to the best of us. Let's see. Not implying that I am the best of us, but I'm probably the average of us. The median? I don't know if I'm the median. Let's see. What do we want to call it? Call it, yeah, this is just draw strength, right? Draw strength %. And then this will just be the value. And then there'll be other skills here, so it'll be smushed, which is fine. I wake up at around 6 or 7 to go to school. I think I passed out. That was tomorrow when I passed out. Nice. Nice. So, we need to grab draw strength value. Draw strength value is equal to whatever the heck this is. Oh geez, look at that. So my digital clocks run on 24-hour format. Yeah, that's also why I changed all my clocks to run on 24-hour format. It does make it hard though, because not everyone understands 24-hour format. Even though it's, you know, it's literally just subtract 12 if it's over 12. like 24-hour format, and it's also just easier to, you know, communicate to other people what time it is, right? Because you don't have to, you know, if they don't listen to the entire message, you know, they won't be confused as to whether or not you mean, oh, do you mean like the morning or the afternoon? You know, 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. as opposed to it's either 800 or 1600. Actually, is that right? Yeah, 1600. No, 2000. 2000. Very bad at math. Don't do math, kids. Not even once. Draw strength value, and then we'll need to have. I've also come around to the idea of doing this, which is just not putting all the consts at the very top. Instead, putting consts where they, I guess, will logically be used, or where they're logically associated with. Started to like that a lot more. So what is the formats? Draw strength format. It's really just numbered. Oh, actually, no. It's what's the float formatting in Godot? All right, Godot float formatting. Format strings. Yes. Drag this over here. Pad to a minimum length of 10. We don't need any padding. Dynamic padding. I've done this before, but I always forget how to do float padding, or how to do float rounding. Precision can be specified for real numbers by adding a dot. No integer precision of 0 is used. The integer to use for padding must appear before the dot. So can't I just do... Oh, bring me back. Oh, this would be like dot 2f. Dot 2f, and then this is just like a percent. And that's your percents, because we're... Actually, that's not entirely true. Is it true? Because it'll be a number from 0 to 1. Oh, okay. If it's a number that's 0 to 1, then I can multiply by 100 to get the percentage. It's relatively easy for me since AM PM isn't used in the German regions. In the morning or the afternoon, but since it isn't a common shorthand, most digital timekeeping always uses 24 hours. Good to know. That's what I've also heard, but I've never been able to confirm it. Don't TV shows use AM PM? I feel like in Dark, whenever I've seen the time, it was AM PM. The only German TV show I've seen. Or am currently watching. I'm halfway through season 3, and then I'll start Squid Game. Critically acclaimed octopi related media. Alright, so float. Still trying to get used to this keyboard. News shows the clock usually is also 24 hours. Ooh. Yeah, I like 24 hours. I like 24 hours. I just had to convert a lot. News here shows clocks in AM PM, which I don't mind. Yeah, 24-hour clocks is really just for me, since I feel like it's very beneficial for people who have kind of weird sleep schedules. Because then you don't have to like have the shock of seeing like, oh god, it's 7. Is it 7 a.m., 7 p.m.? Now you just need to know. It's like, oh, is it 7 a.m.? Am I waking up like a normal person or not? You know, 7 p.m., 7 a.m. easy. 2100, probably a bad sign. So where am I gonna get the draw strength from, by the way? Or where should draw strength be stored? I think draw strength should be stored on the player. Yeah. So it is drawing, and then let's see, animation player. Hey, so this is the drawing animation, as in drawing the bow animation. So play, boom, boom. And there is a way to slow down an animation as well. Yeah, so you can slow down the speed of the default animation. The default animation plays for 0.6 seconds. So what things do I have access to on the animation player? Animation player. So do I have animation? Has animation? Here. Add animation. Set next, get animation. Okay, so get animation, which gives you back, where it takes a string, easy. Audio track, remove track, copy track, no. What am I looking for? I'm looking for, it's not the step, right? I'm not looking for the step. No, that's this thing here, I think. Like, I want the animation length, but then I also want where we're currently at in the animation. And then I can convert that to a percentage. So, blend time, playing speed, no. Play, no. Seek, set blend time, Advance? What does advance do? These are properties. Method description. Shifts position in the animation timeline, immediately updates the animation. No. How do I get the current time inside the animation? Get animation list, get playing speed. No. Don't want any of this. Hey. Okay, properties. Root node. No. Boo boo. Sign animation. Current animation position. Okay. So here's what we can do. Is I'll grab the player. We can grab the player from the UI layer, right? So the UI layer is here. In ready, we can do, let's not do something really gross, but I might. I might do something really gross. Not literally like on stream, but like programmatically, it'll be kind of gross. Here's what we're gonna do. Is we'll just assume, right? We can just assume that the combat screen will give the UI layer a reference to our player. And that's how that value is set. Not a huge fan of doing that though. Not a huge fan of doing that. Because then it's kind of dependent on, I guess, this thing that has almost nothing to do with the UI layer, right? It's dependent on this composite screen assigning the values, which is, it depends on where you want to be making assumptions, I think. And I feel like I don't want to make assumptions there. Therefore, let's do, we'll do var player. What is the player? Is player its own class? No. Okay. We can make it its own class. Doing page up. So class name is player. How nice. And then the UI layer. This one will be player. And then in ready, we'll do something like that. Not like that. Like this. Like this. Not like that. Struggling right now. Why is this keyboard so hard to use? I don't want to remap my keyboard live on stream though. It's just one very simple change, so I have easier access to the home and end keys, my favorite keys. I used to never use them, but now I'm more in favor. So this is get parents. So we can just make an assumption and then get parent player. So we can just assume, and then this will of course immediately break once we start messing with the node structure, but that's fine. Anyway, this is our player, and then our player has access to an animation player. Var player anim the player anim player. Hooray. Animation player. And then this will be equal to player anim player is equal to player dot what did I call it? I called it anim player. Nice. Oh yeah, there we go. Code completion. You love to see that. So animation player, anim player, whatever. We'll grab the, I guess the, in process. I mean, that's the slightly hard part. Is do we want to grab the animation every time? Maybe we don't. So var draw anim time. So that will be a float, or it's not time, it's like length, right? So anim length. So draw anim length is equal to player anim player. Get animation drawing. And then this one is animation. Where was it? Where was it? Length, yes, length. Times player anim player playback speed, yes. There we go. And then whenever we update the playback speed, which might be done in circumstances, so like whenever you, I guess, get a new bow, I suppose. Yeah. So like this is drawn, but then I guess if you have like a stronger bow, it'll take longer. And then instead of just lengthening this animation, we can mess with the animation player instead. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. UI layer, that's all of this stuff. Or actually, we can store that here, right? So this is var anim player playback speed. Right. Just so I don't need to pull it out of the... does that make sense? Probably not. Yeah. We can just pull it out of the anim player every single time. That's neither here nor there. Get animation. And then in the animation player, there is the... Where is it? Playback speed. Oh, no, wait, no. Current animation position. Current animation length. I wonder if I can just... Oh, you know what? Instead of just doing all of that, right? Instead of doing all of that, I could just connect to that anim player inside of the animation player inside of the player object. Connect to animation started, and then just check to see, is it the drawing animation? And then if it is, then I can update things based off that. right? So instead of doing all this kind of weird stuff, or this weird stuff here, we can do the player, or yeah, we don't even need these two variables, right? Maybe we do? Yeah. Yeah, I still need the player and unplayer to check for the playback position, right? So anim player, we can get the current animation length, current animation position, and then the playback speed. Yeah, okay, so I don't need to draw anim length, but I'll need to do this, which is player, anim player, connect, animation started, and then on, anim started, on, anim started. So this is anim name, and then it doesn't do anything. Yeah. So let's see. We can just do a check. So if not, or if anim name is not, it'll be drawing. Then we'll just return early. Otherwise, we'll do all the other stuff. One of the few things one of the few changes I've started preferring recently. Is if you're checking to see if something is true or false, just check the false condition. And then return early. Or if you're checking if something is true or false, and if one of the outcomes is like return early, then just check the return early part. So if that is true, then we have access to the player and unplayer. Yeah, so then we can just do this, right? Draw anim length is equal to player anim player get animation drawing dot length times player anim player playback speed, right? And then we can take this out, so we no longer need to pre-compute it. We'll just compute it every single time. Not too hard to do. Then we can just have a flag to update the stuff. Draw strength value. Draw strength value. Draw strength value. Text. Draw strength. No. Draw strength value. Dot text is equal to. Hold on. Draw strength formats. So we're formatting just one thing. So what thing are we doing? It's going to be some mathematical equation of oh yeah, so I need the flag, right? Var is anim drawing, which would be false. This one will toggle it on to be true. Is anim drawing is now true. Go here. If is anim drawing, then we'll do this stuff. And then we'll format for, is it, it's player anim player divided by, no, not player anim player, player anim player, current animation position, right? Yeah, position divided by divided by... Oh, actually, hold on. I don't even need to have this. Yeah, I don't even need to have draw anim length. If I can just recalculate every single time, right? Player, anim player, current animation length. Yeah, I don't need to have the playback speed. I don't care, right? As long as I have the current animation position and then the current animation length. And the playback speed has nothing to do with it. Yeah, okay. Nice. So that's a bit ugly. And I also need to multiply by 100. Make sure it's interpreted as a float. Invalid operand types, string and floats. Hold on. So shift. Okay. Did I do that right? Yes. Okay. Dun dun dun. I think that's fine. Yeah. And then I just need to connect to animation finish, right? So player anim player connect. Hold on. It gave me something. Animation finish self. So this is on anim finished. On anim finished. Anim name. I think it's anim name. I'll need to recheck that. So animation player, that is animation finished. Okay, anim name. Very good. And then this is just the opposite of this code right here. So this is, instead of that being true, that's false. Nice. So let's give that a whirl. Should work. I don't know, wasn't really thinking about it too hard. Okay, so invalid get index anim player on base nil. Because this thing is created first. I forgot. I forgot. Okay, so what we can do is this. Actually, yeah, that's fine, right? If we set it from our UI layer instead, or from our combat screen instead, so we can have like a public function setup player, and so this will take in some p of type player. Everyone loves setup functions, and then I'll just push all this stuff into here. So that's boom, boom, and then this one is p. There we go. Get rid of this garbage. Then in combat screen, we do need to do this. Where do I want to do it? The UI stuff. Let's do the UI stuff here. Right. So in combat screen we have, did I ever add a reference to the UI layer? I did not. So on ready, var UI layer. Hold on. That's fine, I guess. Canvas. Hold on. UI layer. Class name. UI layer. Combat screen. This is now UI layer is equal to, you guessed it, canvas item, UI layer. So not going to give me code completion. I desire your code completion abilities. Godot. UI layer, there we go. And then here we'll do UI layer, set up player, is just whatever we have a reference to here. So this is player. Go into here. Boom. This is really ugly right now. This is okay. Oh, okay. If is anim drawing, so incomplete formats in operator percents. That's okay. Is this not how you do it? How do you do string formatting? 10, 3, so minimum, I don't want to pad to a minimum length of 10. What if I just do a 0, I guess? 0.2, like we don't need a minimum percentage, but we can. Hold on, incomplete format and operator %. Or does this need to be escaped? Is that what it's saying? So escape it like that. Or are you gonna complain now? Invalid escape sequence. So this is how you do percentages. What if we do like that? I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing. I don't think I'm doing this right. Yeah, so that breaks. Yeah, incomplete format and operator %. How do you? I've done this before. It was in my Ludum Dare submission. And also talking about Ludum Dare, let's just look at my shame here live on stream. Now that I'm thinking about it, the results are more or less out. Let's look at my results. Are my results out? No. Results soon. Where are my results? Give me. Please. Oh, they're doing like a live show? Excuse me? Don't they have the top one, the top few, don't they? Events, tools, this is Explore games, Explore, eh? Where are the results for Ludum Dare? Soon. I never played this one. How do you find... Oh, is it just like live tweeting? Is that how they're displaying it? I'll try live tweeting the results starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Yep. We are roughly 50 minutes past that. I'll count down the top 15 games. I don't know. What are the top 15 games? Number 11 overall. Compo, Ludens Fortuna. I don't think I'm on here, but I'm just interested to see if I played any of these. 13th overall. 4th place for innovation. I didn't play some of these. Oh, Tech Nuclear. I played this one. I played this one on stream. Yeah, look at that. I remember this one. This one was okay. It's a golf game. I'm very bad at golf games. I'm very bad at angles. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Well, I can feel okay knowing that I played at least one of the top 15. I'm just hoping I can break into the top 100. Top 100, I'll consider this okay. Anyways, this is the game. And then here I was doing some string formatting on one of these screens. I don't know which one though. One of these had a string format. So there was like a countdown container. Let's see, visible, string, floor, lose time, lose counter, hit, and then I clamped it. I don't think that's true. Oh no, this is it. Yeah, is it because I have multiple percentage signs? It is because I have multiple percentage signs, isn't it? That's a bit tough. No, it's not. I'm just dumb. Ooh. Ooh. So it kind of breaks as well, which is neat. Is anim drawing? So on... is anim drawing false? I thought this would be pretty foolproof, but I guess not. Actually, if I just do this, doesn't it just get truncated to a whole number? It does. And then it keeps repeating itself as well. That's a bit weird. So what's going on here? Player, anim player. What is your current animation? Idle. Hey. So this does not check to see what the current animation is. On anim finished. Huh. We can add a debug thing really quickly as well. So I just kind of slap this into here. So value 2. This will just be the debug stuff really quickly. I swear I'm going to be getting rid of it. But this one will be value 2. That's not how you spell value 2. Dot text is equal to player, anim player, current animation. No, it's not how you do it. Current animation. And now return a string. Let's see, blue snails galore. So idle. Okay. Good to know. Is anim drawing. So this should give me an integer. I think. No. Invalid set index. Alright. So let's string it. ToString. False, true, false, true. Okay, so we just get stuck. Why do we get stuck though? Why do we get stuck? So I can take out this. I'll verify that we get stuck somehow. I don't know how we're getting stuck. So on anim finish, I can set a breakpoint there. Yeah, there we go. Drawing is the animation, right? And I haven't been just setting it to the wrong one this entire time. Drawn, drawing. Yeah. And then this one doesn't repeat either. And also, since we're not doing any fancy, you know, it's just a flag. If anim name is not drawing, print anim name. Does it never get to this animation? Is that it? Boom. Hey, debugger 1. Narrow in conversion, that's fine. Huh. It is not printing anything either. Alright, now I'm confused. Now I'm confused. Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Alright, bring me back. Slap in the label. Not like that though. So percents, go all the way back. I keep pressing the wrong thing. So text is equal to player anim player dot current animation, right? We all know what that does. It gives you back the current animation. And then, drawing idle. We're just never we're never printing out anything, which is very strange. I am connected to the right thing, right? Right? I don't know. What other things can I connect to? I can connect to animation changed. Emitted when a queued animation plays after the previous animation was finished. Signal is not emitted when the animation is changed via play or from the animation tree. That makes sense. This one. So this plays all these animations idle. All this does, if current state is drawing or current state is drawn. Oh, wait. That doesn't seem correct. I feel like match next states. No, that's correct. Yeah. So if we're matching the next state, yeah, then we go through this entire match thing. We're not returning early from it, and then we set our current state to our next state. So then our current state, our next state will be idle. So we don't go through any of this, and then it just plays the idle animation over and over. Oh, okay, wait a minute. It's probably this, because it never lets it end. That might be it, right? So we go into if anim player what is it? Current animation is not this thing. Yeah, current animation is not equal to anims idle. Then do this. Right. And then where's anims? Okay, anims is just available on the player. So actually, we can do this as well. Oh, yeah, here. So this is player. Actually, yeah, because it's the player is now a class, we can just access this. Is drawing. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's starting to become more logically consistent. Okay. So player. That should be okay, probably. Because idle should... Excuse me? Player. Idle animation. Give me your idle animation. Doesn't idle loop? Yeah, idle loops, so it will never... Am I connected to the wrong thing? So on anim finished. Match anim name. Don't know why I did it like that, by the way. Why am I not connecting properly? We're calling setup player. We're clearly able to grab this stuff and then just run it. If is anim drawing, what I'm trying to avoid is like checking the animation every frame, but that will be the easiest way to do it. That'll be the easiest way to do it. So if we did instead of this, we did now if player dot anim player dot current animation is equal to player anims drawing, and we can do that. Right, that will 100% work, and then we just don't use the flag at all, even though the flag, I prefer using the flag, but I guess just have to do that instead. Yeah, okay. That's okay. We'll keep it in mind. We'll keep it in mind. Get rid of all this garbage. I don't know why that wasn't working though. That felt like it was correct, but maybe I'm just crazy. And then here we can also do, just hit it with an else, right? And then we'll do draw strength value dot text is equal to, should probably just give it like a 0. Just hard code it to a 0. Don't even try to string format it. Yeah. We don't need to mess with that. So it's 0. Look at that. Oh. I guess 100. Like I could change it based off of several factors. So we're at 100. Boom. Maybe if it's like drawn, right? You know, elif player anim player current animation is equal to player anims drawn. We'll do 100 else pictured a rubber duck struggles to type like a normal duck being. I'm not a human. All right. Or I wonder if I should, maybe I shouldn't even be calculating this inside of the UI layer. Now I'm thinking about it, right? So this should actually be calculated inside of player and then I can grab it from there. So let's see, we can grab this stuff. So this is anim player divided by all of this, and that'll give you a value from 0 to 1. Boom, player, boom, boom, boom. Here, so arrow damage to do testing, very good. Okay, so we can multiply this, or by that. So this is anim player. And it's a very simple calculation, right? This is just your, I guess, draw strength value. So if you are at 100% drawn, then it's, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, that's wrong. We want this, something like this, inside a player. Then we need to do boom, 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 boom. Player, anim is drawing. There's no format. What we want to have is, I guess, var arrow draw scaling, damage scaling, draw scale, no, draw damage scale. Sure, should be a float equal to 1.0. Grab this, bum, 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 bum. So we don't want to do any of the weird formatting, please. Let's see, one of those, and then we'll just keep this calculation here, right? Like that. Hey, oh, and then this is anim player. Anim player. Otherwise, this should be pretty easy. That should be pretty easy. So this one will just be 1, right? It's equal to 1. And then this one will be equal to 0. Wait, yeah, will be equal to 0. Yeah. So if we get 2 drawn, or if we're drawing, yeah, there we go. Press the wrong button. So that will be arrow draw damage scale, boom boom, send it. That feels correct. I haven't really thought it through, but I think the damage calculation should be correct. So let's wait. Boom, Please give me a better damage curve. Yeah, there we go. And then it should also have an effect on the velocity, your initial velocity. So if you don't fully draw, then your arrows will not go as far either. So this, I guess this is just draw scale, not really damage scale. So let's invalidate pretty much everything I just wrote by changing the name. I know there's a find and replace, but I don't want to fiddle with that. So arrows have a speed value. Okay, so we can just multiply the initial arrow speed by this as well, right? Probably by like an adjusted value. So that's the arrow damage. Then arrow speed. Hold on. So class name. Arrow. Phenomenal. How does he come up with these names? So arrow, speed. Grab this. Delete. Arrow. Hold on. Arrow is some sort of arrow. Right. So then arrow speed is equal to, well, times equals arrow draw scale. There we go. I think this is probably still okay. Yeah, so if you don't draw at all, you'll get like a really wimpy bleh, bleh, like something like that, right? But if you fully draw, yeah, okay, so now this feels a lot better because now you actually have to treat it like a real bow, and then you also have draw strength just up in the corner there, so you don't really have to guess. Yeah. And so it's still pretty fast, but you can't just spam click to get through it as fast as possible. Nice. And then the damage calculation, I still need to think about that. Okay, so then arrow draw scale. We no longer need to calculate this every time. Now we just need to do just player dot whatever this is divided by, it's 1 divided by that, right? No, yes, no, yes, yes? That's 1 divided by this, right? So this is 1.0 divided by whatever the heck this is, right? And then we do want to multiply this by 100 still, I think, times 100. Make sure that this is a float. There we go. So it's roughly the same calculation. Oh no. Division by 0 in operator. Oh no. Feels bad, man. So the draw scale can be 0. I think that's okay. Oh no, if player arrow draw scale is equal to, or I guess is equal to 0, then we can just have a custom thing that we do. Otherwise, we'll do this. Else. Yeah, so I'll grab all of this. Dun, dun. Is formatted with, I guess it's just 0, right? So we avoid divide by 0, which is nice. Ooh, hold on, that's not right. Is it the other way around? Yeah, it is the other way around. Yeah, never mind. Then if we do it the other way around, we'll never run into divide by 0, right? Arrow draw scale, and then this is 1. Yeah. I'm dumb. But we all knew that already. I just had it the wrong way around. Very college graduate, by the way. I did notice that a few times it's like whenever you get exactly to full draw, if you ever get exactly to full draw, it would just give you back 0, which is pretty neat. If it's drawn, if you're ever idle, it'll be 0. Yeah, there was that one time. There was the one time where it didn't work correctly. Like, I held it down, but then it just went nowhere because it was at 0. I wonder if I can make that happen again. Just gotta be very exact. Yeah, otherwise. I think this is pretty neat. Look at that. Boing, boing. Reminds me a lot of the original. So that's pretty much the original mechanic, I think. Let's start implementing skills and stuff. And I think also implementing stat points. So skills, fairly easy if I remember correctly, right? It was basically just like, you can use this skill this many times, I think. Or was it that you activate it and then, they applied an effect. Let's implement stat points really quickly though. That might be a bit easier. So this is all of this stuff. Arrow draw scale. It's on ready var. Let's grab a reference to the game data. So game data, which comes from, I suppose I don't need that reference, right? This is just going to be, or I don't need the static annotation because we go game manager, game data. This is already statically typed. It can infer what it is. Okay, neat. So there's our game data, and then inside of our game data we have your skill points. And so I feel like, what was the, what's the MapleStory Hunter scaling? I already have a window open. Also, let's Ludum Dare. I'm interested. Please reveal to me. I didn't play this one. I also did not play this one. Did not play. Ooh. I want to see if it okay. These look cool. Maybe it's because I only ever played the games that were at the the very bottom of the list. And then I guess there were the few really good ones that I played on stream. Let's see. So it was like MapleStory, Hunter, stat. What? Stats? Games radar. Ayumi, I love Maple. That doesn't sound familiar. AyumiLove.net? Heck yeah, dude. Now that's some retro stuff. Let's see, what are the builds? I remember going to Ayumi Love before. Back in the day. So AP ability points, no. I just want the, what's the stat distribution you're supposed to do? What are hyper stats? Forum Maple Legends? That sounds familiar. Oh, look at this. This just gives you the calculation. I love it. So your maximum damage is that stuff. which is your... Okay, interesting. Interesting. Calculate as follows. It's 1.2 times 4 times your dexterity plus your strength times your whatever your WA is divided by 100. What is WA? WA. Do you have a hiddenstreet.net? Heck yeah, dude. I think that looks okay. Looks okay. So we go back to player. We can apply the same calculation to here. What is WA? I'm trying to remember. I know what mastery is. Mastery is one of the skills you can get. So increasing your your bow mastery, I guess, directly influences your minimum damage. What is WA? Way. Please give me acronym. There's WA multiple times, but I don't know what that means. Weapon attack. Weapon attack. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. So I think I'm just going to take this calculation. Nice calculation. It's mine now. Except instead of having minimum damage or maximum damage, I think I'm just going to have it be associated with your arrow draw scale. So then it's just going to be 1.2 times whatever the heck these are, right? So that your level has almost nothing to do with that. And so each arrow, we can change the damage to just be 1. Well, damage will be 0. We'll give you 0 damage, so that I can. I guess so the idea is that you can have different arrows slotted in, perhaps. But I'm pretty sure that's also how it works in MapleStory, except in MapleStory they just add it to your weapon attack, I guess. That might be a better way of doing it now I'm thinking about it. Because right now I don't take into account weapon attack whatsoever. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. We'll still do 1 times whatever the heck this calculation is. So it's 4 times game data. What was it, dexterity? Dexterity plus, what is it, your strength? Game data, strength. And then I need to have your, oh, you know what? Arrow damage. What I could do is set these equal to 1. Right? And then it's your draw scale, which affects this entire calculation. Like this. And so then I can plug in your your weapon attack and arrow damage. So then this will just be a straight equals, right? So this will be multiplied by, oh, and this needs to be like a double, right? Hold on. There's too many parentheses now. I'm getting confused. Divided by 100, yes. This is arrow damage. Damage plus weapon attack, which we'll set at 0 for now. So to do, because you don't have different weapons as of just yet. There's just the bow sprite, but I can switch out the bow sprite with other things, so that's fine, right? I think the bow sprite is one of the easier things to switch out, so I can just break it out into like this is the bow, right? Because the bow doesn't do anything. It's just an image. Yeah, okay. So to do testing, or to do bow damage not accounted for. So that's pretty good, I think. That's more or less the actual damage calculation, except it doesn't take into account the... Oh, is it 0? All right, where is it zeroed out at? Oh, did I mess up? No. This goes to here. All right, let's think about this. This is game data. All of these are 1, not 0. So this will be 4, 5. 4, 5. Oh, because the arrow damage is because the arrow damage, it's 1 over 100. So it's such a small value that it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, okay, sure. So we can take the ceiling. So isn't damage is a float, but then it gets, what does receive damage do? Receive damage. Hit enemies, base enemy. Receive damage, you take a float. Actually, where's this coming from? Narrowing conversion. Oh, that's fine. Game data coins is coins. Coins is a float that we should just ceiling this, right? There we go. And then here in player, what we can do is we can take the minimum of the two. So minimum, hold on, this thing. So minimum 1 or that. So you can never do less than 1 damage, I guess. Right? Although it kind of sucks to... No? Excuse me? Where? Narrowing conversion. Float is converted to int and loses precision. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't care. Negative 10 damage, yeah. You're so weak that you actually give the enemies confidence, and thus they gain health. Every time you try to hit them with your arrows, they just gain more and more confidence. Alright. That's fine. I always forget how to disable this warning though. How do you disable this? Copy error. I mean, I know the error. It's a warning. Why is it not respecting me? Or no, it's the minimum. I need the maximum, not the minimum. Okay. I knew that. I was just testing me. When you're just so weak that you're actually a healer for the enemy. Yeah. It's like a reverse bard. Alright. Look at that. Now we're just doing 1 damage. It's beautiful. Phenomenal. So now this first level is now extremely hard. So you can slowly push them back. But I don't think I'm going to be able to beat this. But that's probably fine. Because I think they have too much health. Yeah, it's not looking good. Just wait until they get on top of me and then I can just spam click. Like this. Real idle game hours out here. He's doing it. Maybe that's like, it's like an incentive to actually apply your stat points, like so. Like it works. Huzzah. Now it's slightly broken. Oh, and then I just gave myself infinite stat points. Nice. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I need to investigate more. Alright, but how much damage do I do now? Is it still 1? Please don't be 1. It is still 1. Oh, your character is so weak. Because it doesn't have a bow. So let's... Bow damage not accounted for. Let's just give you a 10 damage bow. Is it real? Is that really the stat calculation? 1.2 times 4 times your dexterity plus plus your strength. So this is, yeah. And then times your weapon attack, which is talking about hunters. MapleStory hunters, it's a mixture of your arrow damage plus your equipped weapon, which I don't have just yet. So this is its own calculation. And then I multiply all of that by your arrow draw skill, which you don't actually have in MapleStory. I don't think that this will make a difference. Because your stats aren't high enough. Oh, you know what? In MapleStory, you start with 4. So that might help. You know what? That'll help a lot. Now I'm thinking about it. You don't start at 1 in MapleStory. You start at 4. What am I talking about? And then you also get... Is it 4 skill points on every level up? And I'll just give you 4 for free. Because I'm such a nice guy. Alright, let's see what's going on with that. So let's not dump points into something useless. Alright, so this is still broken. Very good. It's a bit sus. That's a bit sus. But this should give you, yeah. So now we're just doing 5 damage, which is much more reasonable. Also because I gave the player, instead of like 0 weapon attack, it's now just 10 weapon attacks, and now you do 5 damage. Yeah. Here we go. I think I still need to go back to the statistics thing. I think I broke something I shouldn't have. So, how do you have 3? What happened there? Oh, it's because of the this thing. Modify stat points. This should be 4, not 3. Anyways, here we go. Yeah. Just wait for the number to slowly roll over. I've always thought it was amusing when games let you just completely tank your own build, though. So, if you were to put a lot of points into intelligence or luck, I think that's what I did initially when I was playing the game. I was like, man, I want to be lucky. Wouldn't that be really cool if I was like a really smart hunter? And then it turns out that's not how the game works. Who would have known? Alright, cool. Very cool. Alright, you know what? I'll be right back. I'm gonna refill my drink. BRB. Hello, I'm back. Ugh. I'm not drinking on an empty stomach, by the way, but the only things I've eaten today, I've eaten a few almonds. They're pretty good. Bought the expensive ones. And then I had a few things of cheese. So my stomach does not feel super great right now, to be honest, but maybe if I continue drinking, The pain will go away. I'm not actually in pain, I'm just a little uncomfortable. I think it's actually because of the cheese. I'm lactose intolerant. But I do like eating cheese. So lactose intolerance for me mostly just manifests as like bloating. Bloating and then like IBS if I eat enough. So feeling pretty bloated right now. Probably should just eat a few more almonds. I was gonna say cashews, but I'm actually allergic to cashews. Well, not allergic per se, but I can't process them, which is something I found out the hard way. Which is to say, so cashews, as it turns out, are very oily. And so my body could not process the oil, and so what happened was, you know, just ran right through me, man. Ran right through me. And that's, luckily I was working from home that day. That was also a while ago. Man, that super gross. Let's see. This is stat points on level up. It's a very long-winded way of saying that, but it's okay. So this is equal to stat points on level up. How nice. And then this one is also stat points on level up. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Alright. So all this makes sense. I think I need to figure out why this doesn't work all the time. Right, so that worked okay. Move this back. If I do like a half measure here, that's good. That's bad. Something doesn't seem right here, and then we can just reset and then just absolutely trash the algorithm. Eh? What happened? Level select. Level select screen. Yeah, and this is inside of stats. So this is its own thing. So we go into here. I'm thinking. So on apply, we'll broadcast stat modified. Oh, and then when I broadcast it, I should also clear out the stats as well. Right? Stat points availability changed. Well, you know what? On stat point availability changed, so that comes from game data, I think, right? Modify stat points modified, and then yeah. Okay. So here we can do just a quick setup, stats. And then here, modified stats, I do need to, oh, you know what? That's definitely it. That's definitely it, is because the modified stats, it doesn't change when you click apply multiple times. So it's still sending over the old, you know, modified stats amounts. Yeah, okay. So if amount is greater than 0, blah, blah, blah. And then finally, what we should do is modified. Wait, hold on. No. Wait. Yes? No. Yes. So for key and modified stats, right? And then modified stats, key should be equal to 0. We'll just 0 it out, right? No, modified stats. Yeah, we can just 0 this out. Modified stats, key 0. Yeah, we just 0 it out. We don't want to clear it, otherwise we won't have any of these things. Hello, how's it coming along, friend? I'm not your friend, buddy. Sorry, that actually sounds pretty aggressive when you say it out loud. and then you're supposed to say, I'm not your buddy guy. And then I say, I'm not your guy, dude, etc., etc. How's it going? Team, you win. Oh, hello. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so aggressive. It was a joke that really only comes across in text. You hurt my feelings already. Oh, that's okay. How about you eat some more avocado toast, Zoomer? How about that? Yeah, so what I've done today, by the way, is I've implemented this thing. This works. Huzzah! And look at this. We have strength scaling. So we have appropriate like draw strength scaling for the arrows. So if you don't do a full draw, you won't do full damage, and you also won't get the full distance. So you can see that we did 4 damage, 3 damage. And so you can, if you have to panic fire, you can panic fire, but it'll just do a bit less damage. And I've also implemented the actual MapleStory damage scaling values. And we're starting to get a bit sus, as the kids say. So you'll do a minimum of 1 damage, which is always nice. Look at that. And then you can increase your damage by doing something like that. Look at that, 12 dexterity. So I've actually looked up the damage calculation for hunters in MapleStory. But yeah, that's where we're at. I mean, this is pretty much the game. This is pretty much the game. Now I just need to implement buying new bows and then skills. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, so we have skills here. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put buying new bows. I can probably just put it in this big container here. And so when you flip through, I guess we'll have a page number. So the shop, oh, hello, Cyan Nian. Thank you for the raid, much appreciated. Just working on if any of you out there have played MapleStory, this is I guess a remake of a MapleStory fan game called Hunterstory. Hello. So this is what I have so far. Just kind of been working on this on and off for a few months. So just like in the original Hunterstory, your draw strength affects your arrows, so you can't just spam click really fast. And then it also affects how much damage your arrows do. So what I need to do now is just implement buying new bows and skills, and then the rest of the arts. But yeah, how did your stream go? Was it going well? Tell me more about it. And thank you very much for the follow, Rigo Apple, and others. Generally try not to mention people's names if they never chatted before. Also, check this out. Look at this. Whee! I can grab you. I don't know why everyone is poop though. It is a good emoji. That's cool. Thank you. Wrote it myself. It's all open source, so this is also open source. Check that out. I'm not actually a duck. Written in Godot. So Oh, for whatever reason, I decided to like start new projects on stream, so projects don't look too cool up until they, you know, get to a functioning state. Yeah. Also, kind of waiting for Ludum Dare results. So I did submit a thing to Ludum Dare, so hopefully I can see myself in the top 100. This is just the top 15, but if you want to play my game, and you can no longer rate it, but this is what I made in 24 hours. Check that out. Boom. Volume, I think, thank you very much for the follow, Cyan Nyan. I think headset volume warning for headset users. I have heard that it is very loud, even though it doesn't sound that loud to me. Apparently it is very loud. Yeah. Because results are coming out in 52 minutes, I guess. Yeah, I played it. It was uber loud. Ah, I didn't know. No one told me. No one told me. I thought it was okay, but it's also because I keep my volume at, what do I keep my volume at? I keep it at 50, and then I have an external audio box that I then also just turn it down. So it's like 50, and I keep my audio box at around 40%. So that's roughly like 20 loudness overall. So I don't know. I guess if you're a headphone user out there and you're listening to music at higher than 20, I guess you should be careful, but also take care of your hearing. It's one of those things that it's very hard to repair. I guess along with your vision. Actually, can't vision be repaired? I wouldn't know. You know, here's a flex. Still mostly have 20/20 vision. Actually, I have better than 20/20 vision in my left eye, I think. Yeah. Hearing is also more or less pretty good. But can't you get your vision repaired by LASIK? Isn't that what LASIK is for? I've never heard of anyone getting their hearing repaired, though. I don't think you can get LASIK for your ears, although that would be pretty cool. Yeah, and so this is what we're doing. I should just draw more things eventually. It's not too hard to draw since I've gone for not a pixelated art style, but instead of just free-handed most of them. So this is the blue snail from MapleStory. If you're not familiar with MapleStory, Maple Legends, I don't know. You can look up MapleStory. It's a very old school kind of RPG. Here's improved due to blockage being removed. Post. Here's this TS mean TypeScript. Where are you seeing TS? Oh, are you seeing TS here? In the left here? No, TS is a Godot specific format. So this entire scene is a text scene. So T scene. And thank you very much ZS Shino for the follow, by the way. Yeah, so these are text scenes. It's not TypeScript. You can actually compile in, well, not TypeScript. You can compile in QuickJS to Godot so that you can run JavaScript, and then I guess you can just pre-compile your TypeScript to JavaScript and then execute it. I did yesterday actually work on a, there's all kinds of bindings to Godot, which is why I really like to work in Godot. So there's Rust bindings. You can also just write C++ if you want. Yesterday I was working on, let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Here we go. Let me drag it over here. One of these. So someone wrote a Lua JIT plugin thing for Godot. And so that's what I was doing yesterday. So it's just Pong. It is very confusing to It is somewhat confusing since there weren't any examples, and also it's formatted incorrectly. But yeah, so you can compile in anything you want, because there is, as long as your language can interface with the C++ API, you can write Godot stuff in it. Yeah, So look at that. It's just Lua formatted with 4 spaces instead of 2. Kind of gross, but we'll ignore that. In theory, you might be able to use assembly script, which is a subset of TypeScript via the native interface. What's assembly script? Assembly script. Assembly script? TypeScript-based programming language that's optimized for WebAssembly. Oh, yeah, isn't it? It's isn't this is one of those languages? So it's super cut down. You don't have access to the entire library stuff. That's neat. I feel like I've heard of stuff like that. But anyways, let's start implementing skills. How do I want to do skills? So levels are pretty easy to add, if only because this is just how they're structured. So in theory, what I should be able to do is change this into JSON, or just come up with a JSON format and then just pass that in. And now define all this stuff, because all these are just string values. So there's the name, there's the spawn rate, spawn type, and then the enemy. Not too hard. Might be possible to use it as a compile language outside of WebAssembly since it's pretty much the same requirements, so I'm not sure. WASM. I don't know. I haven't done too much WebAssembly except for Godot's export stuff. So I have written a few other things. Let's just go ahead and peep all my stuff since I while we're at it. Let's see. I did write... Yeah, I haven't updated this in a while. But this is my Dialog Editor tool. Let's see, does it still work? Oh, this looks horrible on this screen. But so this is actually running via WebAssembly. And then, how do you do this? So you add node. It's very small. And then, yeah, these are your dialogue nodes. So it's like a visual thing for dialogue trees. And then also has a save thing. And then just saves it straight to your disk without your permission. I don't think there's any, I think that's just the one node, by the way. Let me see. Control O. What's inside JSON? Yeah, there we go. And here's my custom JSON format for dialogue stuff. So I know that for Godot, there's a lot of other dialogue tools. But at the time, I think this is the only dialogue tool that allowed for just random code execution as well. So it takes one of Godot's shortcomings, where that shortcoming is the fact that it's so, I guess it favors string configuration for a lot of things. So you can call any function via reflection by just passing in a random string, which I think I actually do here as well, right? Yeah, get node left paddle, right? So it's not, I guess, known beforehand. And so what my old dialogue engine did was, you know, you just define the function name. Whenever you get to a specific dialogue node, Godot would just call that dialogue node, and then hoped it worked. So it worked. It worked. I think that old code is still accessible somewhere on my GitHub. I think it's known as deployment strategy RERX, because that's the third time I rewrote that. It's been tough. That project is on hold. So I'm done worrying about that. All right, so write container, don't need that. Write container is just all of this stuff. Levels, which is pre-populated via the, it's going to be pre-populated via JSON, but right now it's just hard-coded like this. Skills navigation. I think what I want to do is have this change to something else. So let's do, this is just the skills container. So what if I break this out into its own thing? So this will be skills plus shop, maybe. So you'll have your shop on your first page. I I'm very tempted to install a Flash player and try to see how it works. I haven't played Hunterstory in forever, so how things currently run is pretty much how I remember Hunterstory to be, except there's no skills, right? And also there's no lose condition, but that's pretty easy to add, right? So the lose condition is if they ever make it to, you know, I guess off screen behind you there. But let me see. How did the shop work? I remember that, I don't know. Let's just Google it. Hunterstory. Hunterstory. Actually, close out of this, otherwise we're gonna soft lock because I can never get out of it. Hunterstory, there we go. Reddit, we're not gonna look at my Reddit though. Yeah, look at this. My UI, not as good, but I'm just using a... I think I just copy and pasted my UI from my old stuff. Oh, there we go. There's a Hunterstory guide. Ah, so that's how they did it. So your stats and your skills, and then your shop. Okay. Well, that's what I get from doing it from memory. Well, that's what I get for doing it from memory. Yeah. And then there's Hunterstory 2, but I believe that that was actually just a virus. Yeah. Remember Flash games, man? Memories are warped. Yeah. It's hard getting old. You just lose all memory of how things used to work. My memory has betrayed me. Okay. Well, I think my interface looks a bit better. I do need to think about how to do this corner though. I don't memory anything. I also do not memory anything. Hold on. Let's see. Just write it down, live from the writing. Oh, like a Memento Mori kind of way? Or not a Memento Mori, Memento. Have you seen that movie? That might be a spoiler for like a 20-year-old movie, by the way. No, you haven't seen Memento? Yo, Memento, that is like, that's in my top 3 movies. It's a very good one. Forget who stars in it, but it's basically exactly what you just said there. It's a guy, he lives in, or I don't know, I think it starts with a scene of violence, and then he's just going around, and it's like, don't trust whatever they say. That's his, it is written on a photo that he just carries around. And he just has tattooed on himself like all kinds of notes. And then, so he can only remember things in like, he's suffering from short-term memory loss. So every 10 minutes he like blacks out, basically, and then just forgets where he is. And so he just has to write everything down, and then I guess I won't spoil the twist. It's a good movie. I liked it a lot. Other people don't like it because it's a bit heavy-handed, but I mean, that's fair. Oh, okay, so we can have this just be like the shop container, or the, anyways, the other 2 movies. What are my other 2 favorite movies? So Memento, 10 out of 10. Trying to remember. What are my 2 favorite movies? You know, I think another one that's in the top 3 is what is it called? It's an anime movie. Not even mnemonic? No. It's Jinro Wolf Brigade. Now that's a good movie. I didn't like it the first viewing, but I was like, that's pretty good. Jinro the Wolf Brigade. You should look that up. I think that one's very good. It's very good. The live action Netflix adaptation is pretty bad. Would not recommend. Alright, so shop nav. And then number 1. Well, I don't know. They're not really ranked, so there's not really a number 1. There's a... What is it though? I think I used to have Saving Private Ryan in my top 3, but the older I've gotten, the more I've become like, that's kind of cringe. Like it's Saving Private Ryan, very good, not in my top 3. I put Saving Private Ryan in my top 10 for sure. It's very cinematic, very good, very well shot. Let me see, shop container. Hold on. So margins, get rid of all the margins. Anchor, full rect. What is my number 1? So Memento, or what's in my top 3? So Memento's in my top 3. Jinro the Wolf Brigade, top 3. Ghost in the Shell is in my top 10. Ghost in the Shell, another anime movie, but it's a very good one. Top 3 movies. I used to have this written down somewhere as well. Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3. So Spider-Man 1, I can see. Spider-Man 1 and 2, I can see you liking those a lot. Spider-Man 3 is just objectively not good. You know, Spider-Man 1 isn't that's with great power comes great responsibility, and that's delivered by person. Spider-Man 3 is a masterpiece. No, Spider-Man 3 is very bad. I'm sorry. If you have that in your anywhere near your top 10, I'm sorry, but you have very trash taste. Sorry you had to hear it from me. Plots. It defies the conventions of storytelling. You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think if you're into avant-garde storytelling, then you'll have a good time with the Spider-Man or Spider-Man 3. What happened in Iron Man 3? I don't remember. Iron Man 1, I remember pretty well. I've seen that a few times. If only because that's like you could watch it anywhere. Iron Man 2. That's when his black friend also gets a suit of armor, and then it starts with a Russian guy, creating his own suit with the whip. What happened in Iron Man 3? I don't remember. Was Iron Man 3 the one where they got all the suits? Like that, it ended with him like destroying all his suits? Or is that Iron Man 2? 3 was the Mandarin. Big fan of the orange. Yeah. Don't really remember. Was Iron Man 3 the one where he destroys all his suits? I'm trying to gauge whether or not I actually remember or not. Or like he blows them all up like fireworks or something? No. Which movie am I thinking of then? Is that one of the Avengers? No, because Pepper Potts. That's Iron Man 2. I don't know. I don't remember anything about Iron Man 3 then. Class name shop container. Just so I can access this really easy. The ending of Iron Man 2, they fight all those suits. Oh, okay. So I think I've only seen Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2. I don't remember anything about Iron Man 3, so I must not have seen it. I'm not super up to date on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like I've seen Avengers 1 and 2, I think, but I have not seen Infinity War or Endgame. But I have been spoiled. You know, I'm not feeling too good. Whoever. You know, or like perfectly balanced as all things should be. Apparently it was a good moment, but I just don't know anything about it. Var current page int, and so we'll start on page 1, right? And then we can hook up these buttons. OnReady var, so you have your previous button, which is equal to, grab this, previous, and then OnReady var. Yeah, no, There's a lot of movies I need to see, but the problem is I just don't have enough time. Like, my backlog is already pretty long. My backlog is really long, actually. Like, I was given a list of like must-see movies from one of my film buff friends all the way back in high school, right? Haven't really gotten all the way through that just yet, right? I've seen like a lot of just random like old movies, right? So like The Pianist. Have you watched The Pianist before? Like, that is considered to be one of the like a masterclass in filmography, or maybe it's just photography, I guess, because it has like a lot of really nice looking scenes. But one, I think that movie is like 4 hours long, and two, it's super slow. Like, it's a World War II movie about I think he's a Jewish pianist in Poland, perhaps. And so before the war, you know, living pretty well, everyone loves him. After the war, you know, he's Jewish, so he has to go into hiding, but he finds a piano, and then he just plays it, I guess. And then it's just like his struggle to survive. But I don't know, man. Like, I had to watch it in two sittings because I fell asleep during the first one. I was watching it, I was like, man, I'm super bored. Fell asleep in my chair. Woke up the next day and was like, oh man, what a great movie. Put me right to sleep. You know, Kung Pao was also on that list. Kung Pao isn't, if I'm thinking of the right one, Kung Pao is the, I say Kung Pao, that's in my top 20. Is not, it's a parody movie of poorly translated kung fu movies from like it's like the early 80s, right, or something like that. Whereas like everything is intentionally like dubbed at a slight offset, so it looks bad, and then also the plot is just ridiculous. So it's highly memeable. You have, you know, I am bleeding, therefore I'm the victor. That's where that comes from. Is it Kung Pao or is it Kung Fury? I know there was also another movie, Kung Pao. Yeah, Kung Pao Entered the Fist. Yeah. Kung Fury is like a YouTube movie, I think. So if current page is greater than 2, or no, is less than 2, is greater than 2, then we'll do all the stuff, boom boom, minus equals 1, and then we'll load in all the necessary paging, right? So the idea here, and this is what the default UI looks like. So it's pretty ugly. Which is why I've gone with this. It's kind of almost a CSS kind of styling to it. How am I going to define pages? I guess I should just manually define them instead of having the, like here, level select screen has, like, this is not a great way of doing, or enemy data, but in terms of doing shop stuff, it might be. You have an eye for menus? Do I? Do I though? I'm not very UI oriented. Not a huge fan. Current page is less than, I don't even know how many pages there are. Let's just put this in as a placeholder. So current page plus equals 1, and then we'll figure out what to do from here. So to do placeholder. Like, I'm not great at UI design, but I know that this looks bad. That's pretty much all I know. This is not great, but it's at least better than this. I feel like don't know. Something about this design just looks kind of like early 2000s menu design, which is functional, don't get me wrong. So shop container. What are we trying to do here? So shop, what if I just manually define the shop stuff? Like I said I would. It's good, less is more. Yeah, it's kind of how, isn't it? It's like called skew graphics or something like that. Like how Apple UI used to make it skeuomorphism, right? So they tried to mimic real things for the UI so that you didn't have to think too much about, oh, like, is this something I can press? Instead, it just looks like a real button. But now that the population is more used to a digital UI, people are trying to get away from skeuomorphism. Is that what it's called? Skeuomorphism? Skeuomorphism. Yeah, term most often used in graphical user interface design to describe interface objects that mimic their real-world counterparts. Yeah. So that used to be popular, but now we're more on the, you know, the other side. I guess I can just define all the things here, right? And then I'll just need to go into skills. This is, actually, how did they do it? Oh yeah, you would hover over the icon, and then it would give you the description, and then, you know, just let you buy it or something like that, right? Okay, we can do that. Or actually, we're not going to do that, but maybe. Isn't there there's another UI node that does what I'm thinking about? So it's like item list, something like that. So we go into fill, expand, and then icon, columns. Yeah, what I was thinking about doing was, oh no. Yeah, what I was thinking about doing was just like a list, so like a left to right list. So you have your icon, and then like a, yeah, like a, you know, you can increase this button. But I think this makes more sense. So we'll just page through multiple lists of stuff. So max columns, I think this one just had 3 columns, and that makes sense. 3 columns, max text lines. Maximum lines of text allowed in each item space will be reserved even when there's not enough lines of text to display. Not sure. Auto height. If true, the control will automatically resize the height to fit its content. Yes. So, how does this work? Text, item 0 enabled. Sure, why not? I don't know. Item 0. Let's give you an icon. Let's load in icon.png. Okay. We're learning stuff. And theme overrides. What are the constants? Line separation, V separation. Vertical spacing between each line of text, V. Vertical spacing between items, H separation, icon margin. Probably not. How does this look when we just start up? So this is our thing. Oh, this is ugly. Oh, that's just horrible. I hate that. Also, am I able to do hover? I haven't really worked with item lists before. So let's look into the item list. What do you got? So we have a few signals. Item. Hey. There's no hover, which makes this tough. Is there a way to get hover? So item activated. We don't want that. Right mouse button, no. Selected, no. Multi-selected, no. Nothing selected. Trigger when the left mouse click is issued within the rect of the list but on an empty space, no. Is there no hover then? I think I would like to use this if possible, but maybe Godot has something. And also, let's refresh this. I want to see if there's anything that I've played before. Compo? Are you kidding me? They made that as a compo? Actually, yeah, I can see that. It is mostly tiled. Haven't played any of these. Pretty much never played any jam entries either. Let's see. Tower of Idols, didn't play that. Rocky Roads, didn't play that. Trauma, didn't play that. Okay. Probably not gonna see anything I played before. I just want to know my ranking. Please. Top 100 overall. Let's see. Sure current is visible. Actually, control. I think no, you can't get hover, I think. Good luck. Yeah, all I want to do is I want to beat my previous one. And so to beat my previous one, I pretty much need to... Well, I want to beat my previous one and by a pretty good margin. If I don't beat it by a pretty good margin, I'll be a little disappointed. So my previous entry for Ludum Dare came in... how do I view my games? This one. Look at that, 54th in innovation, but just 500th overall. But I want to break. If I can break into top 100, I think I'll be pretty happy. I think the problem is that it's kind of hard to, like, not this concept for Ludum Dare 42, which is like running out of space. This was a bit too abstract, unfortunately. And I think this one might have been a little abstract as well, or I guess people didn't play it through it enough. It wasn't fast enough, I should say. Yeah, and I guess there's also like the implicit, like, you need to game the system if you want to get a high score. I mean, it sounds bad, but that's just how it is. Alright, let me see. Let's go back to this. Hunterstory, that's okay. What am I looking for? This is Godot, item list, hover. Item list detect hovering. So is this possible? Alright, very good. No answers. Hey, how can I add a tooltip for my inventory? Node. Hey. I know how to do this. Like, not using an item list. But I think this would be really nice if I could just use an item list for this. I'm not seeing it though. This is just the control as well, so get out of here. Control doesn't... Actually, does control... I think control gets mouse entered, but the problem is I don't have the... I need more specific data about where your mouse is entered. Because if you look at this, technically, whenever I just hover into this thing here, my mouse has entered the thing. But now I need to know, has my mouse entered the icon, which is what I want. And that's tough. That's tough. And also, they're not... Fixed column width. How does this work? Width, all columns will be adjusted to. Value 0 disables the adjustment. Each item will have a width equal to the width of its content. Hey? How does this work? Ah, interesting. Why would you want to do this? Same column. All columns will have the same width. Yes. You know, I'm thinking of, well, I just won't use this. Well, bring me back, bring me back. I don't think this is usable. This is for a very specific set of circumstances that don't apply to me. So we'll just go with another VBox container, and then I'll just have to add my own nodes afterwards. So what do we want to have here? We want to have just a bunch of HBox containers inside of here, and then these will store skill icons, I guess. Yeah. So let's just start typing. Let's just start doing something, and hopefully I'll figure it out. So here's your HBox container. Now you will have a texture rect, right? Texture rect, and we'll just assign the Godot icon for now. There's your Godot icon, right? Expand, no. Yes. There's your texture rect, and then here on each texture rect, we should be able to detect whether or not our mouse has entered, or I guess not entered it. Right? Yeah, okay. So this will be like a shop icon, shall we say? So the shop icon. There we go. This is going to be somewhat complicated. So shop icon. Well, where is it? Say branch as seen. So shop icon. We're just gonna throw everything into the into here. And then if you have multiple shop icons, how do they space themselves out? I think that's fine. Is that fine? Because then they won't be centered. Maybe you don't want to do an HBox container, or maybe you do want to have an HBox container, but with only as many things as you need, because that'll be easier to set up, or at least easier to space out. Does that make sense? So you'll have HBox container, right? And then we'll have just multiple VBox containers. And so we'll have 3 VBox containers, and those will be our thing. So this is our HBox container, and then we'll throw this one in here, then duplicate it 3 times, right? And then if I add in a pretty much anything, right? I slap this into here. Then this needs to be centered. How do I center this? It's just like centering a div. Oh no. So grow direction. Oh, alignment center. That's not the right center. That's not the right center. I mean, it's close. Grow direction. Oh, it's shrink center, right? So we'll want to do, no, expand shrink center. Yeah, okay. And then if I duplicate this a few times, hold on. No, hold on. That's okay. That's okay. guess that's, yeah. Probably like an expand string sensor for all of those. And so we'll grab all of these, hit it with the delete. And so this is what we're going to be working on, or working with. So let's create a new folder, and then these will be like the, I guess, shop icons, right? Shop icons. Move these into their own folder. That's fine. Kind of freaked out because there are multiple copies of them, but good enough. Alright, so shop icon. We'll add a script to this, and then we'll also just do a lot of inheritance afterwards. Maybe? Yeah, okay. I mean, this is the hard part, right? Right, making all the UI stuff. So what things do we have access to? We have access to mouse entered, mouse exited, yes. Mouse entered, mouse exited, so we want to connect to those two things. Connect, mouse entered, self, and then on, mouse entered, name doesn't matter, mouse exited. Let's see, on. Darn you, new keyboard. Feels so nice to type on, but it's so hard for me to type on it. Because it's a normal layout. Let's see, on, mouse entered. I don't believe that this actually, yeah. Emitted when the node receives an input event. That might be okay. Mouse entered is probably closer to what I want though. Right, because all I'm checking for is if the mouse is there, then I'll want to display a tooltip at your current mouse position, right? And if it's not there, then, you know, hide the tooltip, don't do anything. Right? I think that makes sense. That makes sense, I think. Hard to say. Void pass. Okay. And you know what? What the heck? Let's just add a class name to it. Class name, shop icon. Var is, or I guess has mouse, right? Has mouse. Mouse gets the cheese. What'll all be did. So on mouse entered, has mouse, obviously, will be true, has mouse. Is equal to true, and then has mouse here. Now it's equal to false. There we go. Ha ha ha. And then in process, pretty easy. What we'll do is float. Has mouse. So if has mouse, then we'll want to do a thing. Otherwise, do another thing. How nice. Hello, Juan. Hello, hello. How are you doing today? How are things in the world of Nim? You know what? Get rid of the stream intro screen as well. I keep forgetting I need to move this down to my lower monitor. And my lower monitor is just my my drawing tablet. I just now keep plugged in at all times. What do you think of blockchain games? I read Steam is banning blockchain games. I think it makes sense because most blockchain things are kind of scams. Yeah, there's a hot take. Even though I may or may not be almost employed by a blockchain company. Cannot confirm nor deny that. I think most blockchain things at this point are scams. So ethically, I think it's a scam. Financially, it would be financially and fiduciarily irresponsible of me not to work in the blockchain business, if only because it is a scam. That's my opinion on that. So I think blockchain games could be cool, but I feel like they're even more of a money sink than like gacha games, right? Where gacha games are like, you know, if I think it's not fair for all the game devs, maybe not all of them are scammers. Yeah, well, I think we've yet to see any real blockchain game. we've yet to see any real blockchain game actually come to fruition, right? Like name a blockchain game that like actually has depth to it. Like the only one I can think of was there was the card game that was coming out at some point where you would buy packs and they would be stored on the blockchain, and this is an Ethereum game, right? Come at me, crypto bros. I've actually written my own blockchain app before, so you can't can't use fancy terms to get around me. Is action pressed? Decentraland looks interesting though. Isn't Decentraland? What is Decentraland? Decentraland. I've seen it. Decentraland. I've seen it traded before. Decentraland. Virtual destination. Yeah, no, this is just another like you can buy space on our blockchain, right? What is it actually used for? What is it actually used for? You know, I think there's a lot of ideas that look interesting, but until they're actually put into production, it doesn't matter, right? Like, what was it? Like, Ripple was the really big one. They're like, yeah, we partnered with, you know, so-and-so big banks, and they're using us for money transfers, but then they never actually got off the ground. So, like, if it never works, then who cares, right? You know? At that point, they just got your money. As far as I know, only banning games that use blockchains in some sort of monetization way. Well, how can you use blockchains without having a monetization thing in it, right? Like, you need to spend money. I guess you could have a blockchain where it's impossible to buy or sell the currency. Like, you would have to mine it, I guess, like in almost like an incremental game kind of way, if you wanted to make a transaction. And of course, mining is what helps verify those transactions. So I guess as long as you're not able to buy or sell the blockchain currency, then that would work. No currency is not a requirement for a blockchain. Holochain is well, yeah, currency. So there's proof of, well, what is holochain, right? You always need a currency, more or less, or you need something to help verify transactions, peer-to-peer. Yeah, well, so you need to provide bandwidth in some way, right? So you can stake currency, you can stake bandwidth if you want to help verify currency. But blockchains, that's how a blockchain works. Like, you can't just let anyone write data to the blockchain. Otherwise, it's not really a blockchain. Because then anyone can just overwrite anyone else's data. You're not supposed to... It's not supposed to be the point of Steam to help monetize your game so you continue improving it. Well, it's because most blockchain games are scams, right? They don't... All they do is just provide a way to... What's it called? Prospect? No. What's the term? Something. A holochain, you freely prove the work if you want to take part in one app. So it's asset flipping. Yeah, so asset flipping. Yeah, asset flipping is also unethical, but technically allowed, because that's harder to draw the line between, right? Like, is it an asset flip or did you actually try? Whereas, you know, blockchain, hard to say. Hard to say. Freely prove the work if you want to take part in one app. Yeah, it's still proof of, you still need to provide work in order to write to the chain. I guess you don't have to have a currency, so to write, but then you do have to provide bandwidth to help prove out other people's work that want to write to the chain. Paste improvement, someone just has to work on it to even be part of the chain. Yeah, so you're still providing something. You don't have an implicit or an explicit currency, but the currency that you're providing is like, you know, processing power, which is, you know, it's basically the thing. So instead of being able to sell your, or I guess bank your processing power in the terms of currency, you have to spend it immediately if you want to write to the chain. That's the only difference, right? That's what currency is. It's a store of value. Whereas it sounds like holochain, if you want it to work, you're not able to store the value. You have to use it immediately, which is fine, you know? Yeah, asset flipping I think is unethical. Blockchain games, overall, pretty unethical because they don't provide any value. Like, there's no point in putting it on the blockchain, right? Blockchain is just a public ledger. Shading microtransactions are the same. Yeah, well, it's harder to name 3 games. Name 3 games that have made good use of the blockchain. I'll wait. I'll wait. Like, I think microtransactions are something that's, you know, some games they provide values, other games they don't provide value. Blockchain games have yet to provide any value whatsoever. Holochain is made for any currency. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The currency is just a store of value, right? If Holochain doesn't have currency, then that means that you must use all your value when you generate the value, which is fine. It does make it harder to use because then you have to, if you want to write to the chain, you must provide the value then and there. Whereas, you know, with Ethereum, you bank your value and, I guess, Ethereum. You bank your value, and then you burn it when you want to write to the chain. That's how that works. And then you can sell that work to other people if they want. That's how that works. There's chess that runs all communication on the blockchain. Yeah. Well, blockchain. All blockchain is that it's an immutable transaction. So you write something, and then the next transaction on top of it, everyone says, "Hey, this is what I'm writing." Everyone verify that, you know, it's correct, and that I'm not modifying anything lower in the chain, right? So I think like something like a chess.com, right? If it stores your previous moves, guess what? That's more or less like a mini blockchain, I guess. Except no one is providing work except for the host server, the master server. But you could blockchain it by saying that everyone has to keep their own ledger of the transaction, ledger of the chess game. That's all blockchain is. It's not complicated. But people like to put we allow interoperability between blockchains. Oh, we're revolutionizing the healthcare industry. It's just a ledger. It's an immutable ledger. If banned is used, hard to make cool games using technology like if they banned Godot. Do you, by any chance, Juan, have any stake in in cryptocurrency? If input is action pressed, we'll do a thing. If has mouse, we should also do like a display tooltip, right? I've been talking about this for too long. Display tooltip, token tooltip, okay. Well, that's very strange then. No, blockchain stuff can exist outside of Steam, right? The only reason why you would want it to be on Steam is if you want more legitimacy, right? You don't have to be on Steam. You can go to itch.io. Doesn't the Epic Game Store allows for blockchain games as well? I think I saw something about that, or maybe not. Maybe it was the complete opposite. Then they took the same stance. Or no, this should be here. So display tooltip. No, display tooltip. Oh, hello, Rose Ninja. How are you doing today? Or toggle tooltip. Yeah. This is what I've been working on, by the way. Look at this. So these don't do anything, ignore those. But check this out. So I've implemented draw strength. I've implemented actual stats. So if you need to charge up, fully draw the bow if you want to fire the arrow. And then also that affects your power. So if you fire things at full power, you'll do more damage, etc. Oh, I haven't used any skill points, stat points. My current research job consists of making secure blockchains for decentralized applications. So the server of the application is decentralized with the blockchain without any needed currency in that blockchain. Well, that's currency in a blockchain is just used for writing data to the blockchain without needing to provide work at the instance that you want to write. Right. So the currency is meant to prevent spamming. So if you want to write, you need to provide currency, and then that's why currency is always burned whenever you send anything anywhere. Can you change speed or leave it? What do you mean change speed? What I'm working on right now is implementing skills and then just the entire shop, so that there's other things you can do. Oh, see, that happens sometimes. So sometimes you'll fully charge it, but then your arrow will just fall down. So everything is more or less customizable, and it also follows the MapleStory damage calculation here. And so you assign stats, and then that helps. I don't know. You do more damage. So it's supposed to disincentivize you from just doing this, but you can if you want to. So you assign stats, bum bum bum. Yeah, and then there we go. Now we do more damage, and then we also have some coins from killing the other things. Snailed it. He's done it. Yeah. So everything is mostly here. I just need to have skills. But yeah, no, the thing that I'm going to be working on is the new thing that I may or may not be starting next week is also a blockchain job. Because I'm knowledgeable enough on that stuff. No, blockchain is not complicated. Blockchain is not complicated. People like to make it sound complicated, but it's not. You know, they try to hide it with all these fancy terms, like proof of work, proof of stake, you know, whatever. But it's really just, it's a ledger, right? And you're not allowed to modify past things on the ledger. Well, blockchain works isn't automatically open. You need to key to be part of this. So it's a private blockchain, right? Someone tries to write bad data, the algorithm assures that people are actually cast out of the network. So you still have a centralized. How do you know that you have bad data? How do you know that you have bad data? Bad data is only known if you have, I guess, either people maintaining the network and verifying transactions, or if you have a master maintainer, and then now it's no longer decentralized, which is the point of the blockchain, right? It's at that point it's more or less like a very insecure database. Ethically questionable, like that dude that uses a duck avatar on Twitch to rev up money of subscribers. What? Who am I ripping off? You know, I provided value. You know, everything I write is more or less open source. Even this application, this program that I'm working on right now is open source. You know, because everyone that tries that computation, everyone tries that computation. Everyone sees that, hey, you're sending me garbage, they start to ignore that node. So everyone needs to be running all at the same time. Okay, so that doesn't logically make sense then. So you always need to have someone You always need to be connected to the network as well. Why? Like what happens if you don't? What happens if everyone just decides to turn off their network, right? Or they like. That would also happen with Bitcoin, right? With mining, but where mining is just also doing what, as you say, it verifies transactions more or less. Everyone says that, hey, this transaction is correct. That's how Bitcoin works. Is that you verify the transaction. It's not the same transaction. You're talking about like an actual transaction. Yeah. I know, just my dyslexia gets muddled with terms. That's fair enough. Toggle tooltip. Yeah, it's the same with all blockchains though, to be fair. So that was a bad point to bring up. So if everyone just turned off their mining nodes for like Bitcoin or whatever, right? Then Bitcoin will have to start lowering the difficulty of the problems to make it quicker to solve, which would, you know, unbalance the network since there's only like one person solving and verifying transactions. Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty much exactly as it is, except that you don't have a way to bank your previous work. Which is fine, yeah? I've said that a few times. It's fine. Like, if you don't want to have a way to bank work, that's okay. That's what currency is. It allows you to bank value, bank work. You exchange work for value, and then it's up to whoever, right? Do you want to be able to store that value for later via currency, or do you want to force the user to use their value immediately? Proof of stake is interesting though. Proof of stake is just, actually, I don't really understand how proof of stake works, but it's not explicitly mining, but don't quite understand how the algorithm works. From what I understand, proof of stake is just everyone. So you put up currency. So people who have more currency have more effect on the network. And then that wallet always needs to be connected. So it works almost how Feldy's system works. So as long as your wallet is connected, then you're staking. And so everyone is verifying some part of the transaction. So toggle tooltip. So this will need to have, what do you want to have? So Control A. It'll probably be a panel container, right? Panel container. So just a panel container with some text inside of it, and then this panel container. So this will be called the tooltip. Not a blockchain expert. However, I had to learn more of it when I was researching holochain for our use case. Yeah. Nah, blockchain. Yeah. I mean, I'm I'm going to be working with it. I think it's ethically a bad thing, but financially, it'd be irresponsible of me not to work with it. So here we are. No, blockchain doesn't really have a good use right now. No. Like, there's almost no use. Yeah, that's probably the hottest take that you're gonna hear from me, right? Is that there's almost no use for a blockchain. Well, why would you need one, right? Like, even now, right? The biggest maintainers of, isn't it like Bitcoin? It's consisting of like 3 really big mining pools. Of course, that must have changed ever since China made it illegal. But now everyone's just moving to like Texas or whatever, right? Wherever you can get free power to mine, right? So it's not even like really decentralized. Most of the verification power is held by like a few big mining pools. So you'd be better off with just just the shared database somewhere. Some Ethereum applications are interesting. Please name some. Please name a few Ethereum applications that aren't NFTs. NFTs are a scam, 100%. Yeah. Blockchain bank. There are blockchain banks, actually. That may or may not be what I'm working for. However, it turns out the holochain is too much in development with too little documentation. Yeah. I think that's the story with most blockchain stuff, is that they're heavily under development with nothing to show for it. So this one, I think we need to do something with Signal Broadcaster, which is like, we need to have an export var. So an export, well, no, this won't be an export var. Maybe it will be an export var, right? Exports, var, I guess like skill name. Chat messengers, and so blockchain won't nearly be fast enough for a chat messenger. That doesn't, some Ethereum applications, a chat messenger, that's not, it won't nearly be fast enough. You know, chat messenger, you're expecting like 1 second, 2 second delay. Ethereum transactions don't take 1 or 2 seconds, they take like minutes. Yeah, I don't really like crypto because I like the idea of it being used for, yeah, decentralized applications sound interesting, but there's not a lot of instances where it makes sense to have a decentralized application, right? I think something where it makes sense is like a, I guess if you want to do like in-game transactions, that almost makes sense, right? So if you want to have like, create a big network of companies, right? If you want a bunch of companies to work together, right? You don't want them to share financial information, but you want to create an incentive to buy, a so-and-so. Like you want to buy a loot box, right? So you buy a loot box, he places it onto the, the shared blockchain, and then you can move it over to game. You can cash it out for a lower currency that is still on that chain, and then you can share it. Like that makes sense to me, and people were trying to make that work as well, but that never went anywhere either. Apps like status IM. It's a crypto wallet. Secure messaging app. But does it store your messages on the blockchain? Truly private, open source, peer-to-peer, end-to-end encryption. Yeah, but it doesn't. This is just a wallet. This is just a wallet. Does it store your message on the blockchain? I don't think so. It's just peer-to-peer. Like peer-to-peer is already decentralized. Chat runs on Ethereum. Does it? It just has a crypto wallet. That doesn't sound like it. Decentralized Web3. Web3 is just a special protocol. It's just the JavaScript library. Private and secure. Ensure your messages and transactions are yours alone. Is it stored on the blockchain? I'm looking for, is it stored on the blockchain? It has a blockchain wallet, but I think it's just, I'm pretty sure that this is just like Signal or whatever. Signal, status, Telegram. It's just encryption. Send private, peer-to-peer. It's not. It doesn't. Notice how it doesn't say blockchain. It's peer-to-peer. You know what's also peer-to-peer? Torrent. BitTorrent is peer-to-peer. Is that a blockchain? I don't think so. Let's see. They have a decentralized sticker marketplace. That's expressive stickers. So they're storing their stickers on the blockchain. Sure, I guess. Crypto wallet, global payments in a chat. Yeah. So they're paying people, so they have a wallet. Peer-to-peer. Centralized servers. This is just peer-to-peer. This is just peer-to-peer. This isn't blockchain. Blockchain is decentralized, but this is just peer-to-peer. If you're chatting on the blockchain, that would imply that you're placing your messages on the chain, and then they're also presumably encrypted. But encrypted, you don't want your messages to be encrypted. You want them to be hashed. Well, I don't know. You don't want to hash your messages because then the other person won't know what you're saying. But that's not truly secure then. Yeah. Double ratchet, blah blah. Yeah. No, this isn't blockchain. This is just This is just a peer-to-peer messaging app that happens to have a blockchain integration. You've been had by marketing. Like the analysis side more. It's giant people economy rebel. Pieces of the puzzle get put together and changed constantly. I love it. I guess if you like the drama of blockchain development, I think blockchain's interesting. There's a lot of drama for sure. Like a lot of people. Wasn't there like there's a story about people getting ripped off because they were trying to make some sort of ape game, so they're selling apes. But then the main leader, you know, just pieced out, stole the entire wallet. Mainly the issue with messaging on blockchain is that there isn't that much need for verification, which is what makes a blockchain a blockchain. Yeah. It's not verification is not needed, just peer-to-peer. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there's not, I don't see why you would want it, and also it'd be very slow. Be very slow. PayPal crypto wallet, not familiar. Is PayPal offering a crypto wallet? I don't know. I think it's okay, you know? If people want to offer crypto wallets, then they can offer crypto wallets. A crypto wallet is just, well, it depends on what kind of wallet they're offering. There's probably going to be a light wallet, which means it doesn't synchronize the entire chain. But that's fine, right? As long as they store it for you, and PayPal has an okay history of not being hacked, so I think that's fine, right? Right, Robinhood. Did I spell this tool top? Man, I got too heated. I think I've been in the blockchain space for too long. So now whenever I start talking about it, I start foaming at the mouth. No, I think if you're not running your own wallet, then it doesn't really matter, right? Then anyone else's, it just comes down to how often have they been hacked, right? Like, have you seen the news that during the Dogecoin boom, the biggest wallet out there was estimated to be Robinhood's, right? So they kind of did some suspicious, possibly insider trading. They knew what was going to happen, so they bought up a bunch of Dogecoin and then just stored it in their own wallet. Like, a big thing about trading cryptocurrency is that there's a lot of trade manipulation going on, right? It's not hard to write a bot. That's actually, you know, kind of what happens on the real stock market, like a New York Stock Exchange. If you're not using a bot, then you're just a day trader. Or you're not even a day trader, you're just a casual trader. Right? Here's a bit of trivia that they built a direct internet link between Chicago and New York just so they can make lower latency trades because of their bots, right? So you as a human investor will never beat the bots. And especially not in crypto, since those are not regulated. So if action is left click, then we should do a thing. Probably like pass something through the signal broadcaster. So let's go to signal broadcaster. That's basically what the research we do applies. The blockchain app basically has to verify that a person is allowed to do a certain transaction. If the transaction itself is even valid, permissions based on keys, not money. Sounds all right. I guess if you pass it off to the client side, but then you can still mess with the client side. I guess you would have to. It's the same way that, like, you know, anti-cheat works, right? At which point is it too invasive to tell it if you are sending a verified transaction or not? There's a Twitch category for crypto traders. Yeah, because people want to, you know, just like there's a, you know, people are allowed to gamble on Twitch. Is there a Twitch category for hot tubs? You know, people want to watch what they want to watch. Is there a hot tub? Is there a crypto? No, there isn't. You got me. Let's see. This is going to be shop item bot. And so this will be shop item name, and then crypto. Is that a game? Crypto? I think crypto is just a game, isn't it? No. Yeah, crypto is just a game, by the way, Juan. I believe. No, crypto is, no, I'm wrong. Yeah. No, this is just people like actually trading. How degenerate, dude. That is extremely degenerate. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, if you wanna, I guess if you're into it, that's pretty dumb to me. Yeah, look at that. Action puzzle? Are you kidding me? No, see, this is a downloadable NES game for Windows. Yeah, aren't they, what? What? No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm confused by this category. I don't think that this is a real category. I think this is a game that people have just co-opted into crypto. Yeah, isn't it? Or is it a joke? I don't know. Something seems wrong about that. Anyways, this is dumb. That's my opinion on it. This is dumb. Watching other people trade live. You know, you can just tune into the New York Stock Exchange floor, or pretty much any stock exchange floor, and just watch people trade. Have to be ensured that data on chain will stay secure forever as much as possible. Well, that's what the verification is for, right? And that's why that's why like securing, you know, downloading a full Ethereum wallet takes so much space, or it used to take at least so much space at least. That's a bit BTC. What are we talking about? Bit BTC? There should be a clean with me category. I know that there's a few ones which are just like, hey, like study with me, and that's the entire category. Like I was watching some guy, he had like 30 viewers and no music, no nothing. We were just sitting there reading a book, and I was like, wow, enthralling. I love it. That's the sleep category. That's weird, man. That's weird. That's weird. I think anything that isn't like, I don't know, man. I guess it's okay. If you're into it, you know, Twitch is a company. They gotta make money. If people want to watch something, then I guess they're okay with. You can do it. Like I'm not technically playing a game either, so shouldn't. Those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, etc., etc. Even unverified data is visible to everyone since everyone can verify, so it has to be encrypted separately. The verification is only to ensure the transactions are even possible and permitted. Huh. Unverified data is visible to everyone since everyone can verify. Yes. Verification is only to ensure the transaction. So it's client-side verification, right? So it would work how like anti-cheat works in games. Right? And then the question is, when does it count as malware? Anyways, shop icon. If input is action pressed, so we can look at a few places. So game data. So if we go here, these don't really do anything. I mean, these will broadcast. Oh, look at that. we can see it work in real time. So this is the very tiny tooltip. So if I hide it initially, if I hide the tooltip like that, then we'll only see it kind of pop up here. You know what? We can do that really quickly. That's a really easy thing to do. So toggle tooltip. And then we'll also do if has mouse. Then we'll do tooltip dot global rect position. Rect global position is equal to get global mouse position, like so. QA would be good. People that don't have people that teach them to clean. QA would be. You know what? That is fairly true. I think that's fairly true. I think there are certain things that I think would really help. At least with me with cleaning. There's some things I just don't really know the strat to clean. You know. Like, how do you clean? Like, what's the best way to clean a pan? Like, I worked in a kitchen for 2.5 years, but that's when we had a 3-compartment sink. So you would drop it into the really hot water, etc., etc. Scrub. So you would have the soap, the rinse, and the sanitizer. So the sanitizer would be the only one that was cold water. Everything else is just like boiling hot. And then you have the rinser at the very end. But doing it in my own sink, I don't really have enough space for a 3-compartment sink, right? So what's the best way to clean a pan? I've always kind of wondered. It's not something I do a lot. Hamster crypto trader. Distributed client-side verifications, so you don't have to trust the client. Everyone checks if that client makes legit results to try to scam. Well, that just sounds like it just sounds like harder blockchain stuff, right? So if everyone still needs to verify the clients, or distributed client-side verification, that's pretty much the same thing as just going straight to the blockchain, right? Because the blockchain, everyone has to verify that anyways. I guess I don't understand the. Isn't it pretty much the same thing, except you just moved it from one place to the other, but now it's slightly harder, right? So once someone makes a transaction, it broadcasts out to all the other clients, hey, verify this. But now you need to, I guess you're just moving a step before that. Whenever anyone even wants to talk on the network, and if anyone ever wants to broadcast anything out to the network, they have to be verified anyways. So you just moved it out one step further, isn't that? But you don't need to have any way to pay for that transaction. Well, that's what I'm saying. The currency is just banking work. If you don't want to bank work, then you don't have to. It's a different way of doing it, but it makes it harder to run if you want to do an instant transaction, because now you have to connect your processing node and then or send your data that you want to write to the blockchain through your own processing node, whereas you could just bank your transactions previously. Also check that out. So we have tooltips working. That's neat. So shop icon, I think the hard parts is going to be so skill name, and then also I guess like skill description. I don't think I even want to do formatting here, right? Huh. Maybe I do. Yeah, never mind. Or it's not skill description, it's like shop name, shop description, right? Nope. That's not it. Nope, still not it. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Keyboard. So we do. It's blockchain. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Blockchain, but the use case is not typical currency-based use case with a basically open database. Yeah. It's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff at the end of the day. The only difference is that you can't sell your work on your blockchain, which is fair enough. Yeah, I'm not interested in crypto trading. Crypto trading is for people who have too much time on their hands. Or I guess like actively trading is for people who have too much time on their hands. Because you need to, well, either you have too much time on your hands or you like gambling. I have liabilities now in my life, so I cannot commit to doing that kind of stuff. It's hard having liabilities, right? Like I have a mortgage. I can't just, be like, oh, you know what? just throw $44,000, just buy like buy 1 Ethereum, see how that goes, and then oh no, I just lost 10% of my investment, you know, the next day. You know, well, for some people that's okay. You know, for me it's like I could use that money to pay down my student loans because I live in the U.S. and student loans are killer. Actually, my student loans weren't too bad, but because I went to a pretty cheap university. Or, you know, pay down the mortgage or do like almost literally anything else. Like, have I made money off blockchain? Yes. But that was also when I had less liabilities. Now, if you have a large amount of liabilities and you're still gambling, like large amount of money like that, guess what? I think you may or may not have a problem. Alright, tooltip. So what is a tooltip going to look like? It's going to be a VBox container. So VBox container, and then we'll just expand out for as large as it needs to be. So then it'll be an HBox container. And so, oh, you know what? No, this can just be a VBox container, right? So it'll be like the title. So label. This will be the title. Label. And then we'll have another one below this, which is the description. Yeah, description. Like so. Right? Yeah, it's really coming together now, yeah. All university here is free. Must be nice living in a place that has free university. Well, it's okay. I mean, so it goes. Or you like to analyze chaos. There is joy in that. Yeah, I mean, there is joy in I mean, that's why I like to. I mean, that's why people watching is popular, right? Because it's more or less, you know, random what people do. It's hard to say exactly, you know, where people do, what people will do, what they'll say, whatever. Which I understand that, right? Like I don't mind people watching as well, you know. I think like on the rare occasion that I go out to eat solo, I mean that's pretty much what I do. I order something and just kind of like just watch people walk by doing their thing. Sometimes you'll have the occasional crazy person walk by and say, ah. They should probably like go see the medical go see a medical professional. Oh wait, I live in the US. I can't afford it. It isn't completely free, but you only pay a minimum amount yourself. The education program for the country pays most. Yeah. I mean that's why you know, the people consider the US to be somewhat backwards. Also, isn't Australia, that's also one of their main exports is education, right? That's why Australia's economy was impacted pretty hard by the pandemic and by lockdowns and stuff, right? Is because of the fact that, you know, they couldn't take in new students. Something like that. I feel like I've read something like that somewhere. Hold on. Yeah, title text. Yeah, title text is equal to shop item name. This should be shop item name, not item name. Shop item name, and then this one. Also, healthcare here is free. It's not free in Canada too. I don't know. I don't live in Canada. I live in the U.S. I believe. Well, and then you need to remember, it's like it's not actually free. It's you pay for it with your taxes, of course. But I already pay a lot of tax anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I still pay a lot of tax and still have to pay for my own healthcare, but that's okay. Yeah, I believe, and then also the way that the way that healthcare works in places that have free healthcare is that there's also a priority system, so it's not first come first served. You know, if you are, I guess, outside of working age, you are lower priority, It is not true in all cases, but that's also why one of the proponents of the American healthcare system is that if you have the money to pay for it, then you get it faster, right? Whereas, you know, if you have a non-life-threatening medical emergency in a free healthcare country, but you are not of, you know, working age, so like from 20 to, what's the age range? Is like 20 to like 50 something? Then you are on a slightly lower priority. So even if you go in first, someone in the better, whatever, they can jump the line essentially. So that's one of the downsides. So I know that's actually why my parents are against free healthcare, right? Because their parents actually died. Because their parents live in a country that have free healthcare, more or less. And so their parents actually died because they couldn't get healthcare in time, because they were just too far on the waiting list, because they kept getting jumped by other people. Which, you know, I can sympathize with that. So there's pluses and minuses for sure for all of these things. Do I have the answer to all of them? No. Yeah, I don't make the law. I just obey it, more or less, to the best of my ability. Anyways, check it out. Yeah. So this is test item ASDF, and that's how it'll work. Then this all kind of shows up. I think this should actually show up slightly offset as well. Private universities in capital cities. Hold on. Tooltip correct global position dot x is equal to, or plus equals like 10. They do not make too much sense. It's just the same teachers as in the public one, just a more luxurious building. I don't know. I mean, there's also, like, you need to remember there's like school reputation and all that good stuff that helps inform people's choices. But I don't know. I don't know the situation with yours, right? So for example, like in the US, you can go to a public university like I did. You know, I only came out with, I guess, roughly $30,000 in student loan debt. Or you could go to a private university. So there's a private university pretty well known in my hometown, and you'll come out with $100,000 in student loan debt. But they are much more highly ranked academically, all right? And academic ranking is based off of, you know, your placements after you graduate. Now, that's up to, you know, the students or whoever, if they think that that's worth it, right? Do you want the benefits of a, you know, a more prestigious name attached to you? Do you think that will really help you in your future career? In my case, having a more prestigious name has never really been the limiting factor for me. It's more the fact that I'm just a bad student. And just very bad at memorization as well. But I've also kind of gotten around that by being able to, you know, explain things fairly well. Not, I don't know, being able to explain things very well and also being able to talk coherently about a multitude of subjects. So, you know, it depends on person to person. Do you think it would help? You know, one of the things that's big right now is to go back to school and get just any master's degree, so it'll help you stand out. But I don't need that. Also, I hate schooling. How do I get this to show up in front of things? So, material. Huh. What if I put this on its own canvas layer? Maybe that'll work. Canvas layer. So this will break a few things for sure. So this will be canvas layer. Tooltip. Just grab this, copy and paste. So hopefully that should just display in front of things now. It's also very ugly, but it works. Displays in front of everything, but it's also ugly. So, level select screen. Am I? Oh, I'm not using any anything here, so it's okay. For this, we can do just quick load in the theme, main theme. There we go. So now it just displays in front of everything, right? Not like that one though. This one looks okay. This one is not working because why isn't this working? So these are all the same. Huh. Oh, there's a 2 here. Node not found. Oh, that's fine. That doesn't explain why this doesn't work anymore though. So if we go to level select screen, I just need to reset this node because I've kind of changed it. So skills path. Oh, you know what? These don't exist anymore, right? So let's just get rid of this. Skills next, skills previous. So these are all handled by their own thing now. This is now called shop container. Shop container is equal to shop container. What is this gonna give me? Shop container. Now these are broken, but we can just get rid of this. Boom. Easy. There we go. If I went to a university in a different country, but worked remotely in my home country, would it be free or would I have to pay? If I went to university in a different country, or work remotely in my home country, would it be free? You would probably have to pay in a different country, unless your country explicitly sponsors foreign. Well, it depends on how foreign students are treated by both your home country and the foreign country. Usually foreign countries will not sponsor you unless you like apply for like a scholarship or something. I don't know how your home country would treat studying abroad in a foreign university. Most of the time they will not sponsor you because, you know, they're giving away money, right, to another country. You know, if you spend money within your own country, it cycles back into it. If you spend money in a foreign country, it goes into their economy instead, right? And that's why, you know, education is actually considered an export, is because you're bringing in foreign money to your country. So yeah, you would probably have to pay to answer your question. But that depends. I don't know the specifics of your country. If you're in the US, you would have to pay. If you're from the US or you're studying in the US, you would have to pay unless you got a scholarship. But then scholarship is just money anyways. You'll come to university or healthcare here? Yeah. I don't know how it works with that specific type of thing. Wouldn't you have to be a citizen for X amount of years before you become eligible for either of those things? Otherwise, people would just illegally cross the border all the time to go to university or get healthcare, right? There's always a bit of nuance to all this kind of stuff. Always a bit of nuance. Alright, so now these aren't... Now they're not working at all. So I can still click on these. Let me see. Am I still getting this stuff? So let's do a really quick print hello, just to see if we're actually toggling. It was working before. It was just displaying incorrectly. So okay, so we are toggling. All right, there it is. This bottom one's showing up. These two aren't showing up though. So what happened? What happened? Tooltip. Rec global physician. I don't think it has anything to do with this part. The problem is probably the canvas layer. But the problem is that the canvas layer... Well, I don't know. What if we just set it to follow viewport? Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. Oh, see, now it shows up. Is it because it's just toggling on and off incorrectly? Is that it? So we can do one of these, right? So we'll do a little bit of string formatting. So we'll do our own name and then tooltip visible, right? Just so I can verify what's actually going on. So we'll do boom, true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. Why is it not showing up? It showed up before. Am I crazy? Hey. Oh, wait, no. Wait a minute. There's no way that it's the goal mouse position is it? Is it? Is it something they're doing with the +10? I should be setting it to this thing, global mouse position, so it shouldn't matter. I don't know. Let's get viewport. Get mouse position. I don't know. There's something weird here. Something weird that I'm not really getting. It's not jumping out at me, as they say. You can stay a few months. You can use the health system. I do not think you can finish any study because of time frame. You can go anytime. At any university, it's free access. You cannot take exams though. So you can audit classes. You can sit in on classes. And as long as you are legally in the country, then you can also access the healthcare system. Then yes, okay. All right, there we go. Never mind. This one. Why does this only works half the time? All right. I want to have a tooltip, and then I can just. It's once I implement these, it's so easy. See, now they're showing up all the time. Am I? What am I missing? What am I missing? I'm missing something. Quirk. Yeah. So. Also, I think the time is ticked over. Let's see what my ranking was. Please be okay news. Oh, I got 31st in humor. Let's go. That hurts. 221st? Well, we tried. Well, a little disappointed, not gonna lie. I think humor is pretty good, I guess. I don't know why it was funny. Is this... I didn't realize this is a funny game, but I'll go with it. 222nd though. I mean, that's twice as good as my previous one, to be sure. Where's my profile? Where are my games? What was this one? Yeah, I was twice as good as my first one. Fun, much better. Fun, also much better. Innovation was worse, which I can understand. It's not as innovative. I thought the idea was pretty original though. I didn't see anyone else do that. Theme. I think a lot of people didn't get the theme, which is fair. It was a little too abstract. Graphics, that's okay. I'll accept my ranking in graphics as being pretty low. Audio, I think the fact that my audio was really, really loud probably hurt me a lot. Humor though, 31st. Mood, 190. I guess that's okay. How many submissions were there? Ludum Dare, 490. How many? Is there a way to see how many submissions there were? Stats. Number of submissions. Let's go. Oh, there were only 735 compos. So that's okay. So if we compare these two things, let me drag this over here. Not this one. So I finished in the top. top half at least in overall. Pretty high in humor and innovation, I guess, and fun. Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. How can I see the rankings? I want to see if there was a game that I was really into. So overall, Quantum Splitter. Overall, is this the highest rated one? Is this number 1? Overall 1? Isn't this just a puzzle game? Oh, look at that. A simple game 1. How nice. Paper Pirates. Don't really recognize too many of these though. Where's the one that I played? Tech Nuclear, that was the one I played. You can see I rated this one. Maybe you can't see that I rated this one. See anything else? I thought there were some really good ones I played, but I don't see them up here. Hey, Sexy Booby 95. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm not really interested in jam games. Give me the compos. Give me the compos. Let's see. Boo boo boo. Oh, Bennett Froggy. Getting over it with Bennett Froggy. That would have been a good one. It's not very original, but not the hardest to implement either. Server Preserver. Yeah, that's a good one. Let me see. Man, none of the ones I played are really up here, huh? Stable Incorporated, that's a good one. I played this one. This one's a good game. This one's a good game. Fragments, also a very good game. I played this one as well. But this one did hurt my eyes to play. Yeah, only 23 ratings, huh? I gave this one almost like 5s across the board. Anyways. Yeah. Little disappointing. Did okay in humor, but otherwise not the greatest. We'll get them next time. We'll get them next time. I thought it was okay, but I think one of the big things I messed up with, because I could tell that a lot of the reviews did not play through the tutorial level, is I needed to structure the tutorial in, like, I guess the opposite direction, right? So the tutorial was a bit too, I guess it was obvious to me how to fight the enemies, but it might not have been obvious to the player. So I guess too many people got bored at that point. But yeah, I think that was probably one of the big things that really sunk my battleship, as they say. All right, good to know. Good to know. I do plan on rewriting this though. It's a good idea. I haven't really seen too many games like it, which is just like chaos. Hit things. It's basically like a pinball game where you can like scoop up the pinballs, I guess. But yeah. Anyways, let's push whatever we have here. Also, let me check to see that this still works. Make sure I'm not crazy. I am crazy. Oh, you know what? Is it because this is just on a really low layer? So layers, lower values are drawn first. Is it because it's Z fighting with itself, right? It is because it's Z fighting. I think. Maybe. Let's do it again. Yeah, it is because it's Z fighting with itself. Okay, he's done it. So I think that this will work as well. Give it one more test. So the problem was that it was displaying all these little like little tooltips on the same layer, so that it was trying to draw two things at the same time. And so at that point, it becomes non-deterministic as to which thing will actually be displayed. But yeah, let's do this. Let's not print this anymore, and let's also go into cd Hunterstory gd git status git add all. Let's see, implement bow draw mechanic, implement damage system, start work on shop items. And yeah, let me see if I can find the repository. Where is the repository for this? Bum bum bum. This is not it. This is Giant Horse Death Ball. So this is the Ludum Dare thing that I was showing off earlier. Hunterstory GD. Alright, so this is what I'm working on now. Look at that. So if you're interested in this game, it's actually extraordinarily early on. I'm still building out all the mechanics. It's pretty ugly. But if you're interested in checking it out or whatever, you can find it there in that link. There is no binary as of right now. You would need to load it into a Godot editor and then just run it yourself. But code is free and open source, available under Apache 2 license. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me for today. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't given the channel a follow already, you know, I would much appreciate it. Everything that you see on screen, more or less, is free and open source. So I wrote this. This is Friendly Potato Stream. Stream overlay with a stream avatars-esque, you know, little thingy. You know, you can randomize them. Integrated with channel points. Doesn't quite have the fancy UI that Stream Avatars has, but I'm looking into doing something like that. Yeah, because as it turns out, it's just web dev. It is just JavaScript, so it shouldn't be too hard for me to implement one of those as well. So you have a few ways of interacting with it. I'm not a big fan of having like chat commands though. Chat commands kind of stinky because they kind of, I guess they do make the chat more active, but they do also just litter the chat with just chat commands, right? Yeah, and this is OpenCFace. This is a face tracker written with OpenCFace. I did not write OpenCFace, but I wrote OpenCFace GD, which is the renderer. This is what this does. Look at that. Also supports anime models. You can find that free and open source on my GitHub as well. And yeah, you know, have a Discord if you have any suggestions or whatever, or if you need technical assistance. I also write just random plugins from time to time. Yeah. So yeah, I will be live Sunday from, what day is today? Today is Thursday, right? Yeah, today is Thursday for me. So I'll be live Sunday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time working on something. Well, we'll see. Probably this game again, but maybe it'll be this application since I do need to get another release out. It is pretty tough because it has mostly been solo dev work, which is painful. Because the application has gotten pretty big. Yeah, let's raid somebody, I guess. Let's raid somebody. Anyways, you know, I've raided this person a few times. Let's send it. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you later, I guess. Give the channel a follow. Join the Discord. Give me stars in the GitHub. Goodbye.